They told you the DEA was fighting the drug war. They lied. For decades, America's most secretive agency has been running shadow operations deep inside Mexico. And you're about to discover the truth. This isn't another cartel documentary. This is the untold story of how America's premier spy agency created ghost armies inside Mexico. Armies that hunt in the shadows, trained by the same people who took down Osama bin Laden. The Central Intelligence Agency, an organization that officially doesn't operate on American soil, has been running covert military units inside our southern neighbor for over 2 decades. Units so secret, their members assume fake identities. So deadly, they've captured every major narco kingpin of the last 10 years. And now, for the first time ever, we know exactly how they do it. 1995. The CIA arrives in Mexico with a problem. Drug cartels are flooding American streets with cocaine, and traditional law enforcement isn't cutting it. They need something different. Something invisible. They find Brigadier General Roberto Aguilera Oliveira leading an obscure Mexican army unit originally designed to hunt Zapatista rebels. The CIA has a proposition. We'll give you the technology to hunt ghosts. Hack-proof computers, portable eavesdropping machines, training in espionage techniques that would make James Bond jealous. Prosthetic mustaches, wigs, fake scars, everything needed to become invisible. The unit gets renamed the Anti-Narcotics Intelligence Center, and Mexico's first CIA-vetted unit is born. How do you create a soldier that doesn't exist? The CIA vetting process is psychological warfare applied to law enforcement. Polygraph tests administered by American agents. Drug screenings. Background checks that go 3 generations deep. Phone surveillance. Bank account monitoring. Even surveillance of the soldiers' own families. In the 6 years I was in charge of the unit, even my name wasn't known. I was a ghost, Aguilera revealed. These aren't just soldiers. They're phantoms, operating with fake identities, untraceable by the very cartels they hunt. 2001. The ghost soldiers get their first glimpse of their future nemesis. Not El Chapo himself, but his 10-year-old son, Ovidio. CIA-trained operatives rent a house near Mexico City, watching Chapo's second wife, Griselda. They follow the family like shadows, eventually tailing little Ovidio to his prestigious private school. The kid had no idea he was being watched by some of the most elite intelligence operatives in the hemisphere. This 10-year-old boy, playing soccer and doing homework, would one day become the architect of America's fentanyl crisis. The watchers became the hunted, and the hunted would become the hunters. September 11, 2001 changed everything. As the Twin Towers fell, the CIA's focus shifted overnight from drug cartels to Al-Qaeda. Top counter-narcotics analysts were reassigned to hunt terrorists in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Mexican operation went into maintenance mode. But here's the terrifying irony. While America was fighting terror overseas, the real threat was growing in our backyard. Mexican cartels used this breathing room to consolidate power, refine operations, and lay the groundwork for what would become the deadliest drug epidemic in American history. 2007. Mexican President Felipe Calderón declares war on the cartels and calls Washington for backup. The CIA responds by creating something unprecedented: joint intelligence centers modeled directly on their Iraq war operations. Mexican agents are actually flown to Baghdad to see these centers in action. Think about that. Mexican intelligence officers, trained by the CIA, learning counterinsurgency tactics in the middle of a war zone, then bringing those battlefield-tested techniques back to fight cartels on America's doorstep. While the world watched the Mexican army, the CIA was building something even deadlier with the Mexican Navy. A special intelligence group so secret that even today, Reuters won't publish their name for fear of endangering their lives. These aren't regular sailors, they're maritime assassins trained in analysis, technical operations, and psychological warfare, polygraphed by the CIA, equipped with American technology, and operating with a level of secrecy that makes Navy SEALs look chatty. They're focused on the mission, but they're invisible, revealed a senior Mexican official. Invisible hunters stalking invisible prey. January 2016. Los Mochis, Sinaloa. The world's most wanted drug lord is asleep when CIA telecommunications intercepts pinpoint his location. The vetted naval unit launches an undercover operation confirming Joaquin El Chapo Guzman is in the house. At dawn, Mexican Navy Special Forces storm the compound. The world celebrates Mexico's victory and America's DEA support. But the real architects remain invisible. The CIA operatives who made it all possible never get mentioned in a single news report. El Chapo's reign is over. His son's is just beginning. Here's what they don't want you to know. The CIA's secret war in Mexico isn't actually about stopping drugs. It's about control. Control over who runs the cartels, control over drug flow routes, control over Mexico's military and intelligence apparatus. Every captured cartel leader gets replaced by someone new, often more violent than before. Every successful raid spawns 3 new cartels fighting over the territory. The fentanyl crisis killed nearly 500,000 Americans, while the CIA perfected the art of hunting cartel leaders. The ghost units became so good at their job that they forgot what their job was actually supposed to accomplish. We built the perfect machine for capturing ghosts, while the real monsters walked free. The ghost units are still out there, still hunting, still operating in the shadows between 2 nations. President Trump has designated Mexican cartels as terrorist organizations, laying the groundwork for direct military action that could shatter the careful intelligence cooperation built over decades. As Mexico's new president walks the tightrope between sovereignty and cooperation, and as fentanyl continues claiming American lives, one question remains. Are we fighting the war we need to fight, or just the war we know how to win? The ghosts will keep hunting. The cartels will keep adapting. And somewhere in the mountains of Sinaloa, Ivan Archivaldo Guzman is planning his next escape route, knowing that the most sophisticated intelligence apparatus in history is closing in. This is the hidden war. This is the secret America doesn't want you to know. What do you think? Are we winning or just fighting?